Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Be For Real.
Hi guys.
So today we are sat down on the YouTube video once again. Got the YouTube and the audio flowing.
Video 2, going strong.
Going strong. As you can see in the video, we both coordinated our red,
unintentionally.
Yeah, we didn't even send each other photos and we both showed up in red.
No.
Which is pretty funny because I never wear red.
No, me either. This is like the only red shirt I own, actually.
This is the only basically red piece of clothing I own too.
We just are thinking alike.
Great minds think
we're sharing
alike.
the same brain cells.
We really are. So today's beverage of the day, we were gonna go and
we switched it up, basically.
We did, yeah. We were gonna go get a matcha or something, but then Talia thought of a really good game time decision, and she's like, "What about bubble tea?" And I'm like, "You know what? I am so down for that because it's a nice sunny day. So cheers to that.
Cheers." Bubble tea's so refreshing. You know what? Actually, at work the other day, we were gonna order bubble tea at night. We were like closing, and one of the managers was like, "Let's get bubble tea." Tell me why like 3 people made fun of my order.
Why?
I don't know. Is it not bubble tea enough for you? Like,
what?
They were like, that sounds like a Starbucks drink. And I'm like, it's better than a Starbucks drink.
Wait, what do they order then?
I don't know. Like, someone got like a milky mango something. I don't even know. Like the taro. Taro?
Mm-hmm.
The taro milk one. And I'm like,
the purple one.
Well, it's on the menu at every single bubble tea place. So don't judge me.
So clearly
like, come on,
it's
not
true
like I'm
authentic.
just getting the chocolate one.
Yeah. Oh, wait, there's a chocolate one?
Yeah, you can get like chocolate. Really like sweet. Like there's like a Ferrero Rocher one.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can get lots of kinds. But I feel like getting a like chocolate one would be really basic. I'm like, this is a yummy tea.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a tea drink.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want milk in it.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't want milk.
We both got the same order.
Yeah.
Strawberry black tea, right? It's called?
Yeah. And I got coconut jellies.
I just got regular, but she's good.
She's really tasty today. How's your week been so far?
It's been good. I haven't been like as hectic this week, thank God, because my last few weeks were just so hectic. I was ending work every day at like 8 and barely having any time to relax in the evening. So this week is a lot more, it's definitely a lot more slow pace, and I actually have time to, relax in the evenings and finish at a regular time. So that's been a weight lifted off my shoulders, and I just feel stress-free.
Good.
Stress-free this week because these last few weeks were kind of stressful, but you know what? You always get through them. You always get through the stressful times. Like, something may seem so stressful in the moment when you're going through it, but then once you're out on the other end, you're like, I'm fine. Like that was fine,
It's always fine. There's always,
know.
the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
you always
it
come
always
out.
feels like you can't. Yeah, you'll always come out on the other side of stuff, even if it's like not that intense. So less stressful of a week.
This weekend we did go out for Joel's birthday, which was fun, and we went downtown, had a bit of a little celebration. But other than that, my week has been honestly just same routine. It's been really great, especially because the weather has been really nice. So that's a big plus in my eyes. And it just like makes my mood overall so much better when the sun comes out. Like, the sun is shining right now, and it just makes me 10 times happier than I would be on a rainy day. So that's also great.
Yeah, there's honestly nothing better than just the sun.
No.
Just the sun. It's like
just,
the number
just
one
the nice
thing
weather.
ever.
Anyways, how's your week?
It's been pretty good so far. Pretty chill. Okay, one thing that's been driving me nuts. So remember how I said last week I went and got some fillings done?
Mm-hmm.
In the last few days, all of a sudden, the teeth that I got fillings on are like super sensitive.
Oh no.
God. And I already had sensitive teeth. That's why I had to get fillings, because I have a few cavities, but I had these things called notches. So they're like kind of just like little holes in your teeth, but not like a filling, or not a filling. You have to get them filled, but they're not cavities.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of genetic. Like, my mom has them too, and she has the most sensitive teeth ever because she has little notches.
Oh no.
All over. So it makes your teeth really sensitive, pretty much. Anyways, doesn't matter. But I had sensitivity on like the left side of my mouth a little bit, but like not that bad. It's like the odd thing I eat. Like, something really sugary would bother it. In the last 3 days, every single thing I bite on the right side of my mouth post fillings, like, it hurts so bad. It literally feels like an electric shock.
Are you kidding me?
No. Like, that's when your teeth are really sensitive. That's what it feels like. It feels like you get shocked. So this morning I had a bite of, what did I even eat? I was in the car going to like get my dog, and I had a raspberry. Literally had a bite on a raspberry, which is like, it's not hard, it's not like super
that's like
sugary
the
or
softest
anything.
thing you could eat.
And all of a sudden I was like, nope. And I went to my contact list and I clicked on the dentist and I called them right then, and I was like, so I have a question. I was like, I just got a filling last week, and suddenly I'm getting a bunch of sensitivity that I never had before the filling. So is this normal or not? I mean, I only talked to the receptionist, but she basically said it's not not normal.
Yeah.
She's like, sometimes the fillings take like a week or so to kind of
settle in.
And she's like, as long as like your bite feels aligned, because if it feels kind of off, then that could be it. But I was like, okay, well, I'll just wait like another week and see if it goes away. But it just sucks. Like, it sucks. Everything I eat, I need to like chew it on my left side of my mouth right now, and I'm like a dominant right side chewer. So
yeah,
that's kind of been annoying me this week so far. But I mean, it's been fine. Remember, okay, you know how we talked about at the end of our last episode, like just feeling really ugly some days?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Oh no.
Oh, I had an ugly day where I just felt like garbage. I literally cried because I didn't even want to go to the store with my mom because I was like, I just hate myself right now and I don't even want to leave the house.
Oh no.
It sucks.
That's actually the worst.
Yeah. It just was like, my hair was dirty. I was washing it on Sunday, so it just kind of like looked ugly. And then I just felt like my skin didn't look good. I was like pale and I just like felt bloated, and I know it's pretty hormonal because it's like a PMS week for
I was
me.
gonna say, see, it all aligns with your cycle.
And all of a sudden I got a bunch of little like pimples, and I was like, okay, like
you're like, these are not welcome here.
I'm like, I just know this is the time of the month stuff.
No,
because
but
every time
it seriously is, because around like your cycle, you're more prone to getting pimples, you're more prone to bloating, you're more prone to just everything that's bad.
And for me, it's always the leak. For me, it's always the week leading up to your period. It's like the worst. I'm like, that's when I feel like all the mood swings, like the acne comes out, I just feel gross, and then it was so bad. But I wanted to leave the house so bad because I wanted to get out of the house because I didn't really have much to do on Sunday. Like, I went for a walk in the morning, and mom's like, hey, let's go to Superstore, because I wanted to go so bad, because whenever I go with my mom to the grocery store, like I just pick out a bunch of shit, and she buys it. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go. So
like,
we
you want to go.
Yeah, like we can get a bunch of good groceries and get like stocked up for the week. But getting dressed, I was like, nope, can't go. I like literally like had a meltdown and was like crying. Mom's like, it's okay, like we're just going to the store. And I'm like, I know, but it's not okay. And I'm like, and then we're at the store, and I'm like, music's playing, I'm like vibing at the store. I'm like,
so you ended up going.
I'm like picking up things that I want. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying out different things.
She's like, I told you, girl.
That's how I know it's hormonal, because I'm like, I was crying an hour ago, and now I'm perfectly fine.
That's honestly the definition of being a girl.
Yep.
And
the mood swings are crazy.
And the thing is, I feel like it's so underestimated how much your cycle can affect you, especially people who suffer with problems surrounding your cycle, who have super bad PMS symptoms, and who have maybe endometriosis or just like anything along those lines. It's so underrated how that can affect our mood, our daily lives, our productivity levels, just everything.
And you've struggled with that a lot, so
I know
you would know how much that can affect you. Oh my God.
I've struggled, like, let me tell you that. It's been horrible. Like, I have a very bad relationship with my cycle, to be honest, just because it's never really been a positive thing for me. I've basically struggled with it ever since I got it, and it's been horrible, very horrible. And so I feel for people and women who have to deal with these symptoms, because it's real. And I don't know, I just feel like we don't get enough credit for what our bodies do.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it's
tough. And we haven't even had babies yet, so imagine that.
No, oh my God. And honestly, guys, I've had it super easy, because like, I don't think this is TMI myself, maybe other people do, but I've been on like birth control forever, since I was literally 17, because I just was like really irregular at first, and I just wanted to figure that out. Literally, I haven't bled in my whole time, like pretty much since like the first year I've had it. So nice. I don't know the struggles like 99% of women do, so I literally feel bad, because sometimes I'm like, I don't even relate to my own kind that way. Like, I don't even know what it's like.
Species.
Right? So all of a sudden, like when I'm getting cramps or something, mom's like, yeah, you can have a little cramp, you'll be fine. A little cramp, you'll be fine, right? I'm like, you're right, I'll take it. I'll take some cramps or some mood swings, that's fine. If I don't have to deal with the full effect of it, I'm happy.
Trust me, you don't want to.
No.
Like, even after getting my IUD, and I only got my IUD because my periods were so bad, and I'm not formally diagnosed with endometriosis. It's more of like you probably most definitely have it. But the thing with endometriosis is it can be super hard to detect. So I got an ultrasound done, and basically the doctors were like, the ultrasound doesn't indicate that you have it, but usually you can't even detect endometriosis with an ultrasound.
But all like your symptoms are leading up to that you would have it.
The doctor was basically saying, in order for me to actually officially diagnose you, we would need to put, I'm pretty sure it's like a camera up there, and then they look at your uterus or something like that, because it's tissue growing. Honestly, I don't really know the scientific terms of it, but she basically said, in order to formally diagnose you, you would need to go through a lot more testing and stuff.
But it's most likely.
But she said, like, your symptoms are it. And so I 99% have it. that's why I ended up getting the IUD, was because I was struggling so much. I've ended up in the hospital. Like, it has been so bad. It's been a struggle for me in my whole life. So
yeah,
honestly, and I know I'm not the only one. Like, there's even just you experiencing, even on birth control, you experiencing those mood swings and stuff, that shouldn't be normal. Like, that's crazy. You know, it's like you're still struggling with it even though you're on birth control, which is just...
Guys will just never understand it like that.
Never.
They just have testosterone going 24/7.
I know. And also, I was looking up some videos on it, or I saw some videos on TikTok, and basically so much revolves more around your cycle than you think. How you work out, your sleep, like a bunch of things, what time you should be waking up at.
Every phase of your stage is supposed to be, you treat your body differently.
Exactly, yeah.
And I don't do that because since I've never actually like experienced a regular period, in my head I don't really think of my cycles, but now I want to start getting into it because I'm like, there's times where I go to the gym and I'm like, it is really hard to work out today, and I'm probably in a phase where I shouldn't be really working out or doing something super low impact, you know, like you can feel the toll it's taking on your body. It makes sense that it has to do with each stage and that you should know kind of how to act in those stages.
That was literally me today. Yeah. I was just not having it in the gym because I am just about to get my period. And so this is like...
Me too. Oh my gosh, we're going to be synced up.
We're synced up. Not us
blood sisters.
And us wearing red, like...
Creepy.
Whoa.
Us being blood sisters.
You're done. That's funny.
That's been the week.
That
was my week.
Anyways, to sum up our week.
Okay, I wanted to ask, I thought it would be fun. Sometimes I'll just randomly come up with questions that I want to ask you. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait on the podcast because I want to ask.
I find that funny.
This is so random, but
okay.
I want to know who like your celebrity crushes are. Because I'm curious, because like you've been in relationships, so I've never like heard your type described. You know what I mean? Or your taste and whatever. Because like I don't really know. Because you've been with your boyfriend for forever.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious, like, who were your crushes when you were younger versus like now? Like now we'd be like, these are my top or whatever.
Yeah, okay, that's actually funny because in all honesty, I have not even had a celebrity crush. I think it's just because I just don't care, and I don't know, like I haven't had a celebrity crush in a long time. I'm trying to really think about this, but there's not anybody right now where I can just be like, yep, this person and that.
Maybe it's because you're in a relationship, so you actually are attracted to someone versus I'm not. So I'm like,
but I did have
it's made up people.
I did have, when I was younger, I went through a phase. Oh my gosh, Kate, I don't even know how old, maybe like grade 8. You know, beginning of high school, I was obsessed with Nash Greer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, like that was an obsession in itself.
He was like a heartthrob at the time.
Oh, very much so. I was like
the Megcon boys.
Dude, I thought we were meant to be. I'm like, this is gonna happen. Like, so that was a phase. And then I also, my second top celebrity crush that I can ever remember having is, you know, Theo James from the Divergent movies.
Oh. He's still one of my celebrity crushes to this day. He is a fine man.
Honestly, if I had to say a celebrity crush still, it would be him. But he's been my celebrity crush like for the longest time.
Yeah.
Ever since I watched those Divergent movies, I was obsessed.
Like 4, and his name was 4. Like he was hot. He had a hot name. Like he was just cool. And his attitude in that, he was so like badass.
Like you're done for.
Yep. You're done for. 4.
Who are yours? I gotta ask that back.
Okay, it's just funny because the people I find most attractive in this world are like famous people. Like I literally feel like I've never met someone that I've been like, wow, you're actually really hot. I'm so serious.
R.I.P. to your ex.
Any of them, not hot at all. Not at all. Like he never even was. Like I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my God. Anyone. I don't know if it's now because like now that I'm so much older, I probably found more people attractive like back in the day, but now it's like my selection is just so. It's funny because I feel like my types are pretty basic, but they have to be like attractive. You know what I mean? They can be like a little. I don't know, but sometimes I feel like I'm unconventionally attractive to some people or attracted to some.
I get that.
Like there's some people you're like they're not really my type, but I think they're really hot for some reason.
So name some people.
Okay, here's some examples. Okay, Theo James is one for sure.
Okay.
Do you know Jack Galinsky?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's fine. And then, okay, so I feel like my types are either one is like your typical like dark features, like dark eyes,
tall, handsome
like,
type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or has a little bit of like not foreignness, but has like a little bit of spice to him. Okay. You know, is like speaks another language or like is from somewhere else.
Exotic.
A little exotic.
She likes the exotic boys.
That's a vibe. And then my other one is very basic. It's very just like white boy that's like okay.
White boy.
White boy that's buzz cut and like tatted.
Okay,
Like could almost be like skater boy.
You know what? I really see that with you, to be honest.
Okay.
I can, because that's more, I guess, unconventionally attractive versus everybody you just named is conventional.
Oh, they're just straight up. They're just hot.
Yeah,
Like,
they're like, I don't think
you
anybody
can't-
would
like,
look
no
at
one
them.
could say no to that.
Exactly.
Right? Did you watch Outer Banks?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Drew Starkey?
Mm-hmm.
He's like my number one of my like buzz cut white boy.
Okay,
crush. Like,
okay.
I think he is so attractive.
I know.
Like
know
I
the
would say
vibe.
right now he's like my number one
Really?
like crush for sure.
Okay, I see the vibe. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Yeah, those are like my two typical types. Or an old one would be Paul Walker
Honestly,
from Fast and Furious.
I can kind of picture him in my head.
They just don't make them like him anymore. Like no one looks like that anymore. Like just such a hot blonde and like tan.
Yeah.
Like they just don't make him like him anymore.
You don't like, you could look at someone and be like, okay, yeah, I can see
Like, I
you.
can see that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I could see that.
Love that for me. Okay, guys, that is why my standards are so high, because I have crushes on the hottest people ever that I'm like,
Well, as they should be. Everybody's standard should be high. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? To their own perception of high. You know what I mean?
yeah. But then there's also like random people that are like not my type, but I'm like, why are you like so attractive for some reason? I feel like a lot of the times with those kind of people, it's like personality wise, where I'm like, your personality
Dude.
makes you so attractive.
Can we just talk about that?
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
so interesting.
guys' attractiveness is 50-50,
Honestly, I feel like that's pretty accurate.
right?
Yeah.
Their personality can do so much, either in a good way or a bad way.
They can be so stunning to look at, and then they open their mouth and you're like, no. Like their personality is just awful, or they're like, or they know they look good, so then they're just like super cocky and you're like, okay, that is so gross.
I can't handle the cockies.
No. The cockies.
The quackies.
The quackies.
Lime juice.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. The personality makes it or breaks it 100%. So if you can have both,
That's a full
damn,
package right there.
they win. I wanted to know. Okay, at least we're on the same page with Theo James. That's an important one. Also, there is a dog on the couch. If you didn't notice, if you can see movement in the corner. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're babysitting Joel's dog.
Okay, well that was my random question.
If I ever think of anything I want to ask you, I'll
Write
them
down.
down. Because it's funny, because Talia and we met in later stages in life. Like we didn't go to high school together. We didn't know each other when we were kids. So I feel like we don't know certain things about each other that we would have found out kind of, I don't know, going to school with each other.
Yeah.
Like exactly things like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we kind of wanted to segue into a few topics. Just talk about some of your suggestions that you've given us and some questions that you've given us, some recommendations, and talk about kind of a bunch of different topics. So if you guys really like one of the topics, let us know, and we could totally in the future do like a full episode on that. So yeah, the first topic that was suggested was to talk about relationships, since we both have different POVs, because I have been in a healthy, stable relationship for almost 7 years now, and Talia has been single for a long time now. So I feel like we're the perfect duo to be talking about that, because we have both sides. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to segue into that.
We didn't get asked any like specific question about it, but someone just asked like for us to talk about it in general, like our different point of views. So I don't know, we'll just give you like a little glimpse of just any opinions or thoughts about that coming from different sides. So you've been together for what, you said 7 years?
Coming up.
What do you think you've done to stay together for 7 years and have a healthy relationship that's lasted so long? Like what are things that you guys try and focus on in the relationship for it to maintain healthy for so long?
I don't even know how to describe it. We're just so meant to be. I can sit here and say, oh, it's because of this and because of that, why we're in such a good, healthy relationship. But at the end of the day, I honestly believe it's because we're so meant to be. And obviously there's things that play into that we do that makes things better for both of us. But when you meet your person, you just know. We have no doubts about each other. It isn't a question like, oh, are we going to get married? You know, is he going to put a ring on my finger? There's no question about that ever, because it's just like we both know that we're going to be together for as long as we live. In my personal experience and from what I've seen from other people, it's like when they have heavy doubts and even like subtle doubts in their relationship, I don't know, it just never ends up working out. And I feel like when you find your person, there's going to be no doubts there. It's just kind of crazy because we found each other at such a young age. Like we were both 17 when we met, and at the time we were so different. But the reason why we stay together, I believe, is because when we grew up, like when you're 17, you're still pretty young. And growing up, we grew together rather than apart. And I see a lot of even friendships, relationships, whatever it is, you know, if they're together from a young age, they grow apart. That just never happened to us. We grew together. We kind of developed the same, you know, morals and belief patterns, and we both had our spiritual awakenings together, and it all kind of played a part in that. But in terms of like the day-to-day life, maintaining like a good, healthy relationship, I don't even know. It's become such like we're a machine. You know,
like it's just second nature.
Yeah, we're a machine. Like we're a well-oiled machine, and we just know how to work together. We know how to be partners. And sure, there's like little things that like, oh, clean up your laundry, please, that happen, you know. But the big picture of things, we're just such a good, well-oiled machine. And I guess thinking about it now, that could be through our communication. We never lie to each other. We always are on the same page when it comes to most things. We're always there for each other. We're always defending each other. We're just a team. And when you're in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, you need to be a team player, because it's not just you anymore. It's like you are still your individual person, but you are now part of a team. You kind of have to see it like that, where it's like you have to have each other's backs, etc. You need to communicate. You need to have that loyalty. Also, having our spiritual awakening brought us so much closer together too, because that's when we were like really quote unquote like growing up together. I kind of see us and think like, oh, we're so alike, we're so the same person, but we're also so different too. We're like yin and yang. It's so hard to describe because I've never described a relationship before, so it's hard to put into words what I mean. But at the end of the day, like when I see on shows, people are like signing prenups and being like, oh, I don't know, you know, if this feels right, like, oh, he better put a ring on my finger. There's no worry when it comes to those types of things with us. Him putting a ring on my finger doesn't give me any more validation than just being in a relationship with him right now, because I know that that really doesn't make a difference. That doesn't make us commit to each other more, because we're already committed to each other and we know we're going to spend the rest of our lives together. So putting a label on anything doesn't make a difference for us. But yeah, I guess there's just no doubts there, and we're a well-oiled machine.
Boom. And you have to be like best friends, I find, at the same time.
Exactly. We're best friends.
Yeah, I feel like that was a good answer. I feel like with certain relationships, it's you have to kind of put work in to keep the relationship good, and then there's sometimes where it feels like it's just no effort, and it feels, I haven't experienced that, so I don't know what that's like, but that's kind of what it sounds like to me, is that you're saying like everything just kind of flows, like you don't have to really put work into the relationship.
I was gonna say too, something I was gonna bring up but it kind of slipped my mind, was people always say that marriage is hard. Technically me and Joel aren't married, but we have been together for 7 years, living together for like 3 years now, and nothing has been hard, to be honest. Like there was never a point where I'm like, this is so hard to stay in this relationship. And so when people say that marriage is hard, I don't really, I guess, understand it, because with Joel, like nothing is hard. We don't have to necessarily work for anything together. We just kind of fit and we just flow as one, and it just works. Like that's why I feel like I can't give good advice on this, is because it's just so effortless, and we don't need to put hard work in to maintain our relationship and to have a healthy relationship, because it just happens.
Goals
Goals AF.
Couple goals AF. No, I feel like that it makes sense, and that's how it seems to me too. Like you guys do seem just so effortlessly doing your thing, and it just works that way. And that's not always the case with people. Some people really have to like fight for their relationship, which is unfortunate, but I just think when people know, they know. And I feel like I've only met a couple people in my life that were like, no, we both just know, like that we're so on the exact same page. Like I've seen my friends and people be in relationships where I can tell it's one-sided, or it's like you guys don't seem like each other's person. And not that it's, you know, my place to say on someone else's relationship, but you can just tell.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, like you can look at people and think, wow, these people are so genuinely in love. Or sometimes you don't get that. And I feel like I haven't been around a lot of relationships where I can actually see that between the partners. Like you can just see how in love they are, you know? So that's why I think it's really cool that you have that, and that something so healthy, and that you've only ever really been in this relationship, and like so young too, that you haven't really had to go through a lot of like other heartbreak or like other things like that. Like you haven't had to do that, which is like, again, goals. Like that's so nice, because it feels so rare these days, right?
Yeah, I mean,
to not struggle and go through partner to partner. And
yeah, we always say that like this was a part of our life journey, and we believe that, honest to God, we believe that we came to this earth together. Just the fact of us meeting was just crazy, and I don't know, just how everything aligned and how connected we feel. It's like we actually believe that our souls like have a lot of history, and we've been together for lifetimes, and in past lives.
Yeah.
And
You guys are like soul ties.
we all, like, I'm getting goosebumps because we almost just know that we came here together.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like crazy to think about, but we totally believe that. And I guess that's why things just work out so well, because
seriously, it sounds like if you came from past lives together, damn, like,
I mean, I don't know
smooth sailing.
I don't know if you guys believe in past lives, but I definitely do. And so that kind of ties into things where I'm like, this feeling just makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, when I see people in relationships that are not happy and they feel like they're settling and they're always getting into fights and they're always having to work so hard for the relationship, from my perspective, having such a good experience, I feel like you can find that elsewhere with somebody else and actually meet your person and not have to deal with all of that, you know?
Yeah.
So you being single for the past however amount of years, what's your kind of take on that? Are you happy being single? Like, what's your POV with everything?
I'm very quite content being single. I feel like I'll give you like a tiny bit of back history. I don't really like want to get into it, but sometimes it gives me the heebie-jeebies even think about that I've dated people before because I've been single for so long, and I'm like, ew, I actually like gave my time to like a guy, like, ew, that's so weird.
You're like, ew, boys, ew.
Yeah, no, actually. But now that like I'm older, I see it in like a different way. Okay, hold on. I'll give you a little backstory first. So I had like a first boyfriend when I was 16, and I think we were together for like 5 months, like 5 or 6 months. And that was fine. It was like fun. The relationship was like fine. And then all of a sudden one day he just was like, yeah, no. He was like, I think he like had a crush on like someone else or something like that. Like, cause he was hanging out like this with this one girl all the time that like was a part of this like program that he was in or whatever, blah, blah. Anyways, there's a whole other story to that, but I was like, okay, whatever. So that guy gone. Next, I pretty much was dating someone again, like within like 6 months, I think. Okay, it was so weird. Once I was in that relationship with him and then I moved to like this other guy, I was at a point in my life where I felt like I couldn't not be single just from going from one relationship to another. And it was like within 6 months. Like I just had met this guy like from school, and then we were together for a while, but we ended up being together for like 2 years.
Damn.
Which, to think about that I was dating this guy for 2 years is like
crazy.
Literally crazy, because it was awful.
Oh my god.
Really awful. Looking back at it, was awful. I do recall it being awful in the moment, but like but like, you know,
sorry if you're watching
this.
You don't,
no, he's not watching this, and if he is, oh my god, what a wiener. He's a wiener. But like, you gotta grow, so it's not like I regret being in any relationships, but it kind of sucked, but I know that it was all for lessons that I've had to learn, because now I know like how much I enjoy being single. Because also like that main relationship, like the 2-year one, was from like 17 to 19, or I think I'd like just, you know, like almost 18 to 20, like 18 to 20, let's just say that was like the age range. So that was like a lot of time where I was like growing and learning things, and it just felt for me that I had to go through some stuff to really understand my self-worth and like what I will take from people, and like boundaries. It really taught me boundaries. And also, I didn't grow up like seeing a very, like, my parents split up when I was 19, but I didn't really ever see like a very genuine, happy, romantic relationship between my parents. So I didn't really grow up with that. Like, it was kind of, I don't want to say toxic, like that's not what I remember it as, like as a kid, but I don't remember it being as, oh, a lovey, happy, healthy parent relationship, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't what I'd seen from other people kind of type things. So my examples weren't very, I'm not trying to say that, like, because what if my parents listen, they're like, Talia, that is so mean. It's not. That's not.
We're offended.
But like, they know it's true. Like, I didn't grow up with like the perfect example of love. You know, so it definitely taught me a lot, like being in relationships and like being treated poorly, to understand that like that's not okay. And yeah, and then after that, I was like single for almost 2 years, and then I started seeing someone for a little bit, like maybe a few months. It was like this guy was like, it's hard to talk about because it just pisses me off sometimes, and it annoys me because it does come to my mind sometimes, and I wish like it's not that he has that power over me, it's like that situation that I feel like I put myself in, and it's like me being like, why did I do that kind of type thing. But it was another learning thing, because it's like I'd been single for like 2 years, hadn't talked to literally a single person, and then, you know, I'm very like, I just say no to every guy. Like, I just don't care. I don't care. And I'm like, no, but I'm also like, I don't want to say I like seek attention, but like, I don't know, I can have some fun chatting with guys even if I don't like them. Like, sorry, I mean, like, maybe that's,
I get that.
maybe that's toxic, but at the end of the day, like, I will tell you, like, no, I don't like you like that. And if you keep talking to me, like, that's your fault. I told you.
Yeah.
I've gotten myself into trouble doing that before, but, you know, things happen. But anyways, was seeing this guy for a while, and it just kind of, like, ended badly. And I really think that it was, like, an ego thing to him, because he tried to, like, pull me for so long, and then I kept friend zoning him forever. And I just think it was, like, an ego thing, because this guy could, like, get any girl that he wanted, and, like, it just wasn't happening with me. So I think eventually I kind of gave in, like, a little bit. And I think he just took that and ran with it, and it was, like, an ego thing. And then I kind of feel like he was also, like, mirroring me too, like, acting like how I did to, like, keep me attracted. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because I kept thinking, like, it's weird how, like, similar we are, and, like, we have a lot of similarities, but I'm like, were we actually that similar, or was it just, like, him being,
maybe
like,
he was
me
trying
to
to play
attract myself?
Maybe he's trying to play like a mind game with you.
No, it really felt like that.
Trying to get you back for all the friend zoning you did.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, I need to play these games now.
Seriously, he's a boy though, so I don't think, like, he's that smart anyways, but him specifically. But no, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't hate the player, I gotta hate the game, because he played the game on me. He totally did. And I was like, girl, you know, I could be in my, like, man eater era, like, don't care, like, no to you, you want me, I don't care, that's fine. But as soon as I start getting slightly interested in them, like, I will literally be a simp. Like, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I once I get hooked, I'm caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't try to get hooked, because then I'm like, ooh. So since then, it's been almost 2 years now, and a couple months since that situation even happened, which seems like gone by in a blink.
Time flies.
So since then, you know, I, like, had, like, a little thing with someone, like, from work that I liked, and, like, I still have, like, a sweet spot for him. Like, he's, like, the sweetest person ever, and he's just so cute. But it just was, like, it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, it could be good, but I also don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying to people, because my friends were like, no, like, you should just go for it with him. But in my head, I'm like, I think if I knew, I would know. You know what I mean? Like, exactly your situation. I was like, I don't feel in my gut that, like, this person is going to be the person for me, even though they might seem really awesome, maybe be a great partner. But I'm like, I just don't think I want to jump into something if I don't feel, like, 100% about it. So I didn't. And then, I've just been single, been chilling. I really enjoy single life, being independent. I don't have to rely on anyone. Oh my God, when I hear my friends getting in fights or, like, feeling down because of this, I'm like, I never have to deal with that. And it just feels so good. Like, I know it happens, but, you know, when people are struggling, they're upset because, like, something's going on with their boyfriend, it literally, like, for me, that would be something that would alter my whole mood. Like, you get in a fight 100%. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm acting like a bad version of myself. Guys would bring out the worst side of myself. And I hate that. Like, no one can bring out a bad side of me more than a guy can.
Interesting.
And I feel like that's something I really wanted to work on. So that's why I wanted to be single for long, because I'm like, I just want to be so content and love myself and be confident in myself that, like, a man doing anything can't change how I feel. You know what I mean? Like, it won't affect me like it used to. And I feel like I'm there, but I haven't been tested with, like, a really good relationship. Like, I haven't been with someone who is, like, a great partner or, like, treats me well, or I really see, like, crazy potential with. So I don't know how it will be when I get to that moment. I'm kind of in the phase where, like, I just hope my person comes and I don't have to deal with more BS and kind of, like, more relationships to get through to the one that's going to be forever. Like, I just hope my forever can come, and that's it. So whenever you want to show up, that's chill. I'm never in a rush to be in a relationship though. Like, I'm open-minded to it, but I'm not out looking for it. And I just think that one day I just want it to come and just, like, slap me across the face and be like, this is your person, boom, and I'll be like, this is awesome.
That's when things come though, is when you're least looking for them. Like, when I met Joel at the ripe age of 17, I wasn't even looking for a boyfriend, because I had recently just gotten actually out of a toxic relationship. I was so young. I hate actually putting that word on it, but it's like, we were only, like, broken up for, I don't even know how long, but after him I was like, I'm never dating anybody again, like, bye boys. And then Joel came into my life, and I'm like, okay, well, like, speechless, like, I have no words.
This is it.
The universe is like, okay, you're not looking for anything, so here you go. Like, it's always when you least expect it. It's so true.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's just been my vibe. And, like, my advice to anyone who is, like, scared to be single or scared to get out of a relationship because, like, they don't want to be alone. Being alone is going to teach you so much about yourself, and you need to do it. You genuinely need to do it, especially if you're young. If you're, like, out of high school and you're like, oh, I have a toxic boyfriend, but, like, I like having a guy around.
No.
Do yourself a favor and just get rid of him. Like, cut it off.
You're
if
wasting
he's causing
your
you
time.
stress, if you're waking up anxious because you don't have a text from him, you don't know where he is, or, like, whatever, get rid of it. Like, it's actually not worth the stress. Besides, like, the life lessons you're gonna learn, but you're gonna learn the hard way. right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be sucky and you're gonna be upset, but like
Yeah.
you
What's
gotta
the
learn.
point?
It's just being single, like as a woman in her early 20s, is it's great. You just have like the freedom to kind of do whatever, unless you're like locked down and in a healthy ass relationship. I will always suggest people to be single. Like I'll be like, don't go out and just date people just to, unless you want, like if you really want to. Like I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I feel like it's a great time to learn more about yourself. Recently though, I don't know what it is, this could also be my hormonal cycle. It's like, I was saying this to Hannah the other day. I was like, I don't have a craving to be in a relationship, but like every once in a while I'm like, I could just go for some like affection and like not even like intimacy in that kind of way, but just like intimate moments with another human, but like a male. I hang with my mom all the time, and like, you know, I'll like hug my mom, and sometimes we'll like hang out on the couch, and like those are like nice moments with another human being. But it's like in a relationship it's just different, right? Sometimes I just am like, I need that right now, and I haven't had that in years, and it doesn't make me feel lonely. Like loneliness is not something I struggle with, but it's just like maybe a little bit of like physical touch, or like I don't even know what's the words.
Basically it sounds like you're just describing like affection,
yeah, like
physical touch,
just a little bit
like
of affection.
a
like
human
a
can
bit of just
like a male connection, male energy.
A little bit sometimes, because my world is pretty female dominated, which I love that, don't get me wrong, but a little healthy masculine energy is nice.
I know.
So,
and
right now I'm kind of in that phase, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. So
yeah, well I mean I
I'll
feel
get
like
out of
you're sitting in like the perfect spot where you've done the self-work, you know, you're not out there like reaching and looking and jumping at every guy who comes your way. Since you've done the work, you know, I feel like the universe is like, okay, she's ready to meet her person. But the problem is like maybe your person hasn't done the work yet.
Ooh, they're not ready to meet me yet.
Exactly. And that's
where,
right?
That's deep. I like
right?
that. I'm like, get to work, babe.
Like, come on. I'm waiting. I want some affection.
Like, yeah, it never really bothers me. But then, like, the other day, I'm like at work, and one girl's like boyfriend came to like pick her up and leave, and like he was hanging out in the store for a bit, and I was just like, oh, you guys are really cute. And I'm like, one single tear just down my cheek. I'm like, I want that. But I'm like, it's okay. Like, I don't need it. I don't need it right now. It's fine. But when it happens, it'll be exciting.
You're like, not during the PMS week. Like, no.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe it's literally just a cycle and I'm going to hate men next week. I don't even know. Another request that we got is like wellness tips, or just tips in general that, I guess, what did they say? Like, make your life better? That have like changed your life?
Yeah, just like wellness tips that could change your life and make your life better.
Yeah, I feel like we both could have some good ones that we've implemented into our life. Yeah, what can you think of to start?
My biggest one is like the art of letting go.
Ooh, yeah.
It's so important. It's like if something isn't happening your way, if you're angry about something, you know, just letting whatever you believe in, God, the universe, just the flow of life, take the wheel, and just surrendering to that, and just knowing that things are going to work out, and not stressing yourself out over the little things that really don't need to be worried about, because at the end of the day, if you worry about everything, you're just going to manifest more worry into your life. And so the art of letting go is just really surrendering to the present moment and not worrying about the silly little things that happen. And that directly correlates to, you know, your mental health and your wellness, because it's just going to make you overall in a better mood and more just like susceptible to manifesting amazing things into your life, because that's when things start really flowing in, is when you surrender and you let go and just be present. Yeah, that's honestly like, if anybody said, what's your number one tip for wellness and, you know, making your life better, that would be it, because that's something that I've been kind of working on this past year, is just really letting go. And that's when I've seen the most, like the best results, because I'm not worrying as much and things just start to flow in.
Yeah, and that has to do with like stress, because worrying about little things, you get stressed out, and stress is a killer.
It really is, though.
Like my friend used to be so stressed out that she would get ulcers like in her stomach.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
that's
like
so
it
bad.
actually takes a physical toll on your body. Stress, you can get acne, you can have like stomach issues. It's quite common that when you're stressed out, your body reacts in a physical way.
That's actually crazy, because that is actually scientific too.
Yeah, no, like that's a fact. I'm not making that
That's
up.
a fact.
Yeah, stress is not good for the body, not the brain, any of that.
But that just goes to show how powerful the brain is.
Yes.
Because look at all that pressure on the brain. It's so much pressure, it's so much stress that it reacts out into your physical body. And isn't that funny? Because that could be the exact same thing for the opposite of stress, you know? Imagine what that does for your body.
Yep. Well, one of the books I was reading was How to Become Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And like he's a metaphysical manifestation king in his work. One whole book that I was reading, it had a bunch of talk about like the brain and how you can literally heal yourself from cancer by just your brain. I know some people might not believe that, but your brain is so powerful, it can literally control anything, and like you can think things away.
Oh, 100%.
So I can imagine how being so stressed out is only causing toll on your body, and it's not good. So let's not do that, guys.
Let's not stress out.
No, another wellness tip I would have would just be pay attention to your gut health, because I've struggled with that, and gut health can lead to like so many other things, and you don't realize what can be going on in your body and what can also take a toll on just your regular day feelings and your brain function.
Your gut health is apparently connected to absolutely everything, including your brain.
Yeah. So take care of that.
So
like if your tummy's hurting, figure it out. Why?
Get to the root of the cause.
Yeah, and like I've had I literally think before how we were talking about this that boys would give me stomach issues. I found the most I've had my stomach issues is when I've been in relationships.
That's crazy.
I'm serious. Like I think that they literally gave me stomach issues.
That's crazy.
I probably
because
had
of like the
ulcers.
stress and stuff.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And like being like super anxious and stuff all the time. I would not feel good. I understand that as like a mental thing taking toll on the physical body, which obviously has to do with wellness. But gut health, it will just overall make you feel better. There's been times where I've had like really bad stomach issues. I'm like self-diagnosed dairy intolerant. I was supposed to go get blood work, but here's the tea. Getting needles is one of my biggest fears, so I've never had blood work done. And it was actually on my goals. I haven't done it yet, but it's on one of my goals to do this year is get blood work done, because I really want to know what's happening in my body. You know, do I have any allergies that I don't know about? That's why my stomach's hurting. My stomach actually has been really good recently, but I will eat dairy things and my stomach doesn't hurt, or I'll eat dairy things and my stomach really hurts.
Interesting.
So that's why I'm precautious with dairy. I don't eat a lot of it, or I take Lactaid to prevent potential pain in the stomach. Also, like dairy just isn't very great for the adult human body anyways. But yeah, one of my goals is to get my blood work done, just so I can know and analyze, you know, what I don't even know what blood type I have. You know what I mean? Like I don't know any of those things. So I'm like, I just want to know that, because taking care of my gut health is really important to me, because it stems from the inside out. Like my brother struggled with like really bad acne for a while, and I'm like, I can't guarantee. It can be genetic, but like my parents didn't have acne and I don't really have acne, so it's like, well, I can get it, but I haven't like struggled with it like as a, you know, genetic thing. Yeah. Same with my parents. It's not like in my family on that side like that. So I'm like, dude. And he used to eat like garbage all the time too. So it's like, you got to take care of your insides, because that is projecting what's on your outside.
It truly is direct
when you're eating
correlation.
McDonald's 5 times a week, yeah, you're going to have pimples everywhere, because like
the oil and the grease and all that.
Yeah, like whatever's on the inside projects through your outside. So if you're having external issues too, sometimes that's why you literally stopped eating so many things, because you wanted to get rid of your eczema, because it's from internal
and it
your
works.
Outside body, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of mine, is like focus on your gut health. At least if you have any issues, figure it out. Do things that are healthy, you know, do a cleanse every once in a while. Everything stems from within. So as long as your within feels good, your outside should feel good as well.
Yeah, and obviously everything with balance. Like you can eat healthy 80% of the time, and then 20%, you know, indulge in something.
I'm very like an 80-20 person.
Oh, 100%. I feel like you need to be 80-20 in order to have in order for things to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, okay, you're going to go on this super strict diet, but it's going to last like a week, and then you're going to be like, oh, this is way too hard, because guess what? You have no balance.
Yeah.
That leads into my next tip is balance.
Yeah.
Balance is key to literally everything.
Yep.
I feel like naturally I'm a very balanced person, and so that's great, and I don't really struggle with that. I feel like that has helped me with so many things in life.
Yeah.
And I'm not really an extreme person.
No, me either.
You know?
I'm quite balanced as well.
And so it's like I would never just do like a super intense diet. I'm always I'll do it. I'll eat super healthy, but I'm not going to be 100% there, because I know that's just not sustainable for myself. And it's funny because Joel is a super extremist.
Yeah.
And he does not know how to have balance with certain things.
Oh, interesting.
He's on either side of that spectrum. And it's funny witnessing him versus me. And he's like, thank God you're like this, because now I'm like learning from you.
Yeah,
and
it's
how
helping
like
him be more balanced.
Exactly. And how like balance really is beneficial, because he's very much has a mindset that it's like, oh, what's the point of even, you know, eating healthy and doing that if you're just going to cheat, right? But I'm like, no, but that's what makes it sustainable, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just funny how, you know, some people could be super extreme, but balance is key, and it's helped me with so many things.
It really is. In all forms in life too, I feel like balance is great. You know, a good work, play, balance kind of in everything. Just, again, like being, you know, too extreme on one way can lead to just not good wellness. You know what I mean? Like if you're an extremist, like you're someone who parties 24/7, okay, well, that's clearly not going to be good for your wellness as well. Or someone that
works too much,
you know, works too much, works too hard, their head's in the book 24/7, or someone who never leaves their house, is never social, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's really good to have a balance in just all aspects in life.
Yeah, seriously. I'm pretty sure we can go on and on about wellness tips. Like we could do
things that are tiny as well, you know what I mean? Like, oh, she likes to have bone broth in the morning, like tiny little wellness things.
Yeah,
we were kind of just giving like overall big wellness, our biggest things that we would pick out, but that could literally be a whole episode.
Yeah, I would love to do a whole episode on that. We can come in with like a prepared sheet and have everything written down.
Yes, exactly. And we had some other ones too that we could also talk about. One was like questions about like what to do after school, after you graduate. Someone asked about like our routines, like daily routines, and like more wellness tips, things like that. Those could be full episodes 100%. Not that it's hard to come up with things to talk about for episodes, but it just makes it easier when the audience kind of gives you input. Either way, people are going to think things are interesting, but you know, if it's something that's like super niche to us, obviously it's not as fun for other people to listen to.
Yeah.
So that's why we've enjoyed today taking things from other people, because then it gives us, you know,
some content,
and then also like if we haven't talked about it much together, like it's fun to kind of see what we'll bring to the table in the conversation.
It's so funny because we're both the type of people that we start talking about one topic and then it ends up on the opposite side of what we started talking about. Literally
17 stops different from what we were talking about.
So two people who do that being together, it's almost like a recipe for disaster. So sometimes
in the best way.
Yeah, in the best way.
In the best way, I swear.
That's why we have a podcast.
That is the podcast in a nutshell.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Give it a like and subscribe. And if you guys are on audio, thank you so much for listening, and reach out to us in the comment section if you would like.
Absolutely, what she said. Thank you so much, guys. And again, thanks for all the support so far.
See you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.